win a single map. So we know that, that doesn't quite ring true anymore. Yes, Thailand's a really strong region, but are they the best region in Southeast Asia? We don't even know anymore. Could be anyone else.
It is certainly up for debate. But now we are dropping on to map number 3. Of course, it is still Gili Island, good old Gili Island. This time the plane comes in just to the left of Training Island, and the teams will start fanning out once again. Expect to see some of the normal drops in logging camps. But most teams will probably stay clear away from that one, as that is NRX John territory.
Nothing much to talk about here, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm going to sit back and relax, take a nap.
Enjoy the drop.
See you, mate. Bye.
All right, have fun, Fish.
I'm going to go play a rules of survival game while I wait for this, because that's how long it takes for the action to take place in the
That's a bit Inception-y, I think.
ROS games.
Yo, dog. I heard you like rules of survival.
Yeah, so do all the rules of the survivals.
Yeah, so if you want to tune in to watch Fish play rules of survival, sorry you can't. Only I get to do that while the game is in motion.
Try my absolute hardest to load the Facebook chat, but it's like, no, you shall not load. I'm upset.
You get upset a lot these days.
Yes, because I'm trying to load this chat, and it's like, nah.
Doesn't feel like it.
It's just like, I don't want to load today.
Well, it's unfortunate.
It's just like Trump doesn't want to be president today. It's like, oh, there we go, we loaded it. My VIP subscription of something ran out, and that's why my internet wasn't working.
Ah, okay. Well, that's too bad. Well, we do have the field of play actually open up here. You take a look. It actually is going to pretty much circle around Mesa Out Factory, which means we'll have some of this on the water. A lot of the teams that are going to be over by Bitter Lake are actually going to eventually have to make tracks, but plenty of time before that has to happen, of course. Taking a look at Gao, our winners from the last round. They'll be the ones starting on Mesa Out.
It's good to see in the Facebook chat so many people commenting who their favorite team is. Lots of regional pride as well. A lot of Thai people in their native language. Vietnamese in their native language.
And Thai would have been yesterday.
Vietnamese commenting. I see some people supporting Gao, some people supporting SEAL team coming into this. Lots of AROV supporters coming in.
Oh, really?
Yeah, lots of AROV supporters.
Cool to see.
Of course, we got Brent Esports from the Philippines. Whenever you have, people saying what their favorite team is, Brent Esports comes into the equation. A big esports org, and then NRX as well.
I mean, they're the Titans, right? Like, you don't even need to mention it.
Like, you know about this a bit, but back when we had the Garena Premier League for League of Legends, even though Singapore Sentinels was the Singaporean team in League of Legends competition, they had fans all across Southeast Asia, and that's kind of what NRX are doing now. NRX are just such a strong team and so exciting to watch, especially, take yesterday's Game 4, for example, when NRX were able to maneuver through the final play zone unlike any other team could. It kind of just shows you how good this squad is. And because of how good NRX are as a squad, they're starting to attract fans that are outside their usual fan base, because normally you'd say NRX, plenty of Filipino people would support them because they're the best team in the Philippines. No, but now they're getting supporters from all across the world. Not just in Southeast Asia as well. We know there's supporters for the NRX teams in places like America, in Europe.
And this is what happens sometimes when you are a more impressive team. You'll start to really see people get that mass appeal. Yeah, and here's the thing about NRX, too. The organization also has a team in NA. So you mentioned fans in America. Of course, they would also, because they have a sister team, NRX Luke, that is actually also competing in the North American Cup here, the Rules of Survival Global Series. So there is a lot actually to like. If you're a fan from all over the world, you have teams to cheer for in the NRX organization, and they are one of the best for a reason. Very competitive, always staying on that edge. Now, they did not take first place in the last round, although it looked like they were going to for quite a while. Jay-Z engaged in a pretty wild firefight there with one of the last remaining members of Gao. But fortunately for the Vietnamese side, they were able to take number 1, and that's why we see them so high up in the rankings. Looks like it's just still going through the looting phase, as mentioned. We're going to see quite a lot of that before all said and done. We did have a couple, in the last couple rounds, we had a couple of these really fast, but decisive skirmishes. It was like 5 seconds and 10 people were dead.
Just watching Mac loot here, talking about the looting phase and it being slow this time around. Watch him just walk over a crossbow, and I was like, why is he not picking up the... we changed crossbow, so you no longer must pick up every crossbow you see.
That is something to keep in mind if you guys are just tuning in for the first time in a couple of weeks. Yeah, crossbows that launch grenades,
haven't seen it at all. Like,
they're not good anymore. They have too long of a prime time.
3 minutes.
That is kind of insane. Wait, minutes?
3 minutes. 3
I was
seconds.
like, wait a second, that is really long.
3 minutes.
That is,
oh boy.
That would make these games now Southeast Asia a lot longer than they already are. But yeah, 3 seconds. Still, it's a long prime time, honestly, and it diminishes the effectiveness of those grenade-launched crossbows, or crossbow-launched grenades, I should say. That'd be kind of cool if you had a grenade that could shoot crossbows. It would hurt less.
Well, let's talk about the important. No. Let's talk about.
I went over it twice. I love it.
The what's it called? The importance of the early game. Firstly, is to stay alive. It's the name of the game. Rules of survival.
Quite literally, the name of the game.
Stay alive. The more players that you have online and alive in the final few play zones, the easier it is for you to transition into the mid game as well as the late game. So you want to stay alive and you want to keep as many of your teammates alive as possible. And that's where the passive play from Southeast Asia comes from. If we can disengage from every fight, if we can avoid these early firefights, we'll keep people alive for the fights that break out around 15 minutes and for the eventual battle royale that takes place at 23 minutes. Those are the two crucial points where you need your teammate in tip-top condition. Second is to pick up loot. Now I know it sounds counterproductive to say that the second thing is to pick up loot, but it is. You'd rather stay alive than pick up loot. If you have a pistol and you make it all the way to the final circle with just your pistol, it's still better than having a full kit but dying right away.
No, that's true. It doesn't really matter if you're able to get the loot. If you're dead, you can't use it. Then it's someone else's loot.
Exactly. So the second thing you want to do is pick up as much gear as possible. And now you want to get combat effective as possible, as fast as possible, which means headgear, so helmet right away. You want to get an armor piece right away. You want to get 2 weapons with sufficient ammo. That's not too difficult. You're normally looking for either a long range and a mid range, or a mid range and a short range. Very rarely we'll see, the shoddy sniper combo of a long range and a short range weapon. But yeah, mid range and either a long or short range weapon to help you out. And then a couple of meds. And I don't mean 30 meds, which is what you need for a med strat. I just mean a couple. Enough to sustain you through a firefight or 2.
Yeah, that's really all you need unless you really want to just try and go all in on that med strat. So, yeah, as it stands, and most of the team's pretty much just engaging in that. And
once you are combat effective and ready, you can start positioning yourself. Now, a few teams like to play this in a couple of manners. One is to stay outside the zone as long as possible. The other is to move straight into the deep end of the play zone and set up shop. These are the 2 defensive ways to play it, but the safer ways to play it. However, a more aggressive way you can play things is the way NRX are doing it. They loot logging camps, they always do, and immediately get into a truck, move from house to house, continue looting, but also look for these mid-game fights. That's why we see fights around 8 to 10 minutes. That's where the aggressive teams come to shine, and Zeldrin's blowing up a car for himself.
All right, so like we said, there are occasionally these moments where a lot of action happens in a very short window of time, and Zeldrin's really coming up huge with a pretty big explosion right there. Now we're going to be moving ourselves over to the favorites, NRX John, like an AA, and Co. Taking themselves a pair of vehicles. Looks like it's Monster Truck Rally time. Jay-Z will be coming in as well. And, no, in fact, it's actually just regular truck rally time. You got me debated there for a second. I thought we were going to have the Monster Truck. I think it's a bit faster, too, but more exposed.
Just look at how many teams are also employing the strategy that I just mentioned to you.
Yeah. This is pretty typical.
We have 6 teams already inside the next play zone. Not the current, the next, and set up shop. And then the rest of the teams
are way outside
just outside, spread out, farming wherever they possibly can.
It's like everybody wants to play not in the current play zone at all. So it's like opposite to what you're supposed to do. WTF.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. All right. Let's see TikTok, Mr. Lonely, and Lancer. Cruising around, as well as Akami. It's a full 4 squad there. So nobody's really doing, or not a lot of teams are really doing like the big separation strat. It's kind of been group looting. Teams who loot together. I don't have a rhyme for it.
Teams that loot together, shoot guns together.
Yeah, you didn't actually have to add the guns part, but I applaud the very obvious one that I should have gotten but didn't. Oh, chicken grenade lands outside. So Gao team actually pinned down here by 6-9. So NRX John looking to get a little bit of revenge perhaps for last round.
Potentially. Third place in the last round, and it was really Jay-Z that was able to come out clutch. Looking like an AA though. He snuck his way into the building.
Oh man, this could be the end of Gao. Now 7's actually outside right now. So
he actually hopped towards one of the second floors. So Gao might not be prepared for him to jump in. He's actually on the same floor as Gao. So if NRX can coordinate this right, they'll be getting on time. But Denzi does spot a bounce.
Okay. So like an AA still sitting just outside the house on top of the roof, trying to get a few pot shots inside. Denzi strafing a little bit too fast for him to get a beat on him, and he's actually got to move down. Takes a little tick of damage. Like Nay has to be careful. And here we go inside the house. Denzi's going to get downed. 7's still outside, so he'll be able to heal up. Looks like this one is going to go the way of NRX John.
That's
all of Gao, except 7 getting eliminated.
That's a bit nasty. 7 still outside the compound.
Revenge complete.
Revenge is complete.
With a side of bullets.
I don't think NRX were really looking for revenge.
Maybe not. Hey, that's my storyline fish, and I'm sticking to it.
Looking for the.
Gao beat them last time, made them not get first place. In fact, couldn't even get second place because that was Bren Esports med stratting like halfway across the map. They had to settle for third. Don't get me wrong, NRX, John, are going to come out of this just fine. They're going to be probably placing in the top 3, if not first. But Gao didn't let them win a map in a row, 2 maps in a row, so, it's fitting they found Gao early on there.
Fair enough. It is fitting that they found
Misfortune
Gao
that Gao were found that early by them. Nobody wants to run afoul of NRX John in the early stages of the game. A lot of respect being given. Similar to what we see over in the NA Cup with Rejects.
Fair enough.
Anybody, I think we saw like a couple of cars like roll up to them and just like completely 180 when they realized who it was.
Yes. Quite a few times we've seen that happen.
Yeah.
Happens with NRX a lot. Happens with Fnatic a lot as well.
It's like if you try to mug a superhero, like just a guy in the street, but like he turns out he's a superhero, and you're like, oh, I have made a terrible mistake with my life.
Yeah. I'm sorry, Spider-Man. Please no web me.
Yeah. The thing is, Spider-Man's too nice though. I mean, we're talking Peter Parker, right?
Yeah, he'd web you still.
He would web you, but he would be like, well, he wouldn't want to give away secret identity first, so he might just give the guy money and be like, it's okay. Like he's super nice.
What's wrong with
a little bit of webbing?
Yeah, a little bit of getting webbed.
He might just do a distraction, like shoot a web off in the distance to distract the guy, and then like run away and then web him from a distance so he doesn't know it's him.
Maybe.
Dude, they do crazy things to protect their secret identities. Otherwise, the story would get stale.
Would it really?
Maybe a little bit.
Would it though?
Yeah.
I feel like in this day and age, if you had a superhero with all the technology we currently have, there's no way that guy's identity is staying secret. No way.
Well, I mean, you say that, but there's
people have found my Neopets account. I mean, that's how good 21st century is.
But that's because you're like a model from Singapore, dude. You're public.
I'm not a model. Stop. This meme needs to die.
I'm calling you handsome. Take the damn compliment.
I am not a model from Singapore.
Well, I don't know where Singapore is.
I will destroy you. All of you.
I'm gonna link this clip to Spawn later.
Do not bring Jakobstum Stabaluli into this.
Good old mutual friend of ours.
Jakobstum Shribilani.
Aussie land. Well, we can get back into this game, but I think, as you mentioned, it's definitely going to be one of those slower ones. A little faster with the big 4-man car explosion, though, and now Tina Pei and crew are forced to jump ship, or car, as it were, as a Kame nearly blows their vehicle to smithereens from the safety of the house. Not bad, not bad.
Fair play come out from Akame. Triple X still driving out with the rest of World Clubs. 14 minutes in, so we're seeing these small skirmishes as, teams fight for the bits and pieces of real estate that's left, but teams like World Clubs, who are 2,000 meters away from the actual zone,
gonna need to get a move on.
Yeah, they don't really care as well.
Well, Will Clubs are an interesting team. We saw them yesterday, and we're seeing them once again today. And they placed pretty highly in the first round, but not so much after that, and they're definitely a team that don't seem to be afraid of skirmishing, but I feel like they've changed their strategy a little bit coming into today's games, and they played much more passively.
True.
We haven't really seen much of them in these firefights. They've been the ones jumped on a handful of times, but they've run away more often than not.
Yeah, you hit him. Get him!
Get that wall. He's just doing a little bit of carpentry work.
With a rubber hammer.
Well, it apparently is enough to make a car explode, so in this universe, yeah, pretty effective. Looks like cautious breaching in here for Tina Pei, making sure that there's nobody. And, yeah.
He's being
nice little
very
digs.
sneaky. Very quiet. That's what he's doing.
I'm just going to let you Elmer Fudd on.
Being very quiet like a little rabbit.
Close enough.
Look at that. Now we're talking.
Yeah, everybody's moving. There's only one med strat going on.
This is one.
Oh, never mind. There's three.
Yeah. Look,
there's three.
It's gonna be a lot.
Sorry, I thought teams 13 and 5 were moving.
So let me put it this way: the first 20 minutes of ROS and SEA suck, and then when you hit 23 minutes, you're like, oh, hang on. This is pretty cool because 51 players left. If the trend continues...
No. Not hang on. Huang on. Waiting.
Oh,
in
boy.
the trenches. Yeah, I went there.
If we get to 20 minutes into the match, we're going to get this explosive battle that doesn't stop.
Yeah, with 51 players still on the map. That's crazy.
Correct.
All right. So we're chilling. So anyway, back to Spider-Man. No, not interested. Okay, fine.
Oh, that is.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just, he's not Steve Irwin.
Is that the only superhero you know? Steve Irwin is
Ned
a superhero?
Kelly, Steve Irwin.
Okay. Is David Attenborough?
Nah, he's not a superhero. He's not Australian.
Is that how that works?
Chris Hemsworth.
Well, he is a superhero.
Hugh Jackman. They're all
Also,
superheroes.
he's an X-Men. It's a little different.
No, I'm not talking about Wolverine, Hugh Jackman. I'm not talking about Thor. I mean Chris Hemsworth.
Well, I mean they're the same person.
Kind of, a little bit.
Yeah, I think it's pretty synonymous.
One's a bit bigger.
CGI, special effects.
Taking some fire here from Brand Esports, but they're okay. They're in a convoy.
Yeah.
It's their 3 members that are not med-stratting, so expect the game to go for another 11 minutes here, Pyra, because we're not going to end early. Why? Because for Southeast Asia, we med-strat.
Yeah, but like an AA wants to change that a little bit. He does get a nice nade off right into Pow Pow's face. Doesn't get it down, though. Unfortunately, was spotted out or wasn't primed long enough. Looks like a couple members of Fate actually dropping. Neko is going to get taken out by Aichi off screen. And Pow Pow, oh, he did actually get hit, but he only got clipped by that nade. He actually didn't get enough damage to get down, so it wasn't a direct shot. Inside the back of the truck, though, is like an AA, just hunting. And this is what NRX John are so good at. They can pin down 3 members with only 1. The efficiency in their trades is just so incredible. Meanwhile, back over here, Doi finds Zaynep, gets it down, looks for Mao as well. He's already out of there, so they're going to leave Zaynep for dead. Goodbye.
Poor guy.
Wait, can he not find him?
No,
nope.
he's not even
Okay.
looking for Fury Road. Just finish off the rest.
He just gets the auto kill.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. All right.
So that was an alley-oop from Fire Rose to Fury Road.
Yeah.
It's like, we set this one up for you to knock home.
Name synergy. I think somebody got less of a good deal there.
They definitely are sister teams, Fire Rose and Fury Road.
Oh, hello. And now we're into a firefight on the cliffside here. Zeus is going to get Roiver, but he does get downed himself. Meanwhile, Loki trying to crawl away from the fray. And Doi just continues to take shots from his monster truck.
Blow it up. Oh, crashed into a tree. Of course he did.
And he actually makes it out without getting down, but it's by a sliver of health.
Oh, he's in the green zone, though. That's going to deal damage. He can't heal in time. He's got to push forward.
And he's downed. Goodbye.
Reuven does get finished off by Lancer, so they're going to lose one of their players. But again, this is the Fate 3-man roster. They're not looking for a first-place finish. They're just looking to pick up as many kills as possible while their final member med-strats. And TikTok's still here, though, running around for Gal Team just outside the play zone.
It's not at that point where it takes enough damage to where you actually have to sit there and start medding. But he still takes a little bit Forest trouble. A couple members of Fate here. He actually might feel like he wants to take them out because Dave Jan is actually down.
This is TikTok from Just Team, the best Vietnamese org. Dave Jan's already down, like you said. Joel, he's already backed away, looking to try and heal up. That's another thing about Medstrat. You give up all your meds, you don't have any for yourself.
Oh, my goodness. Like an AA gets a second down here as he was baiting.
They should rush. Power's so low.
Yep, and now here we go. Joel, he's going to get another down and an elimination on... Or TikTok's going to get the elimination onto him as well. So fantastic play by Just Team.
That was an elimination as well. So Fate don't have somebody Medstratting. They're just dead. So that's interesting.
All right, so Like an AA is going to breach into this house with several downs here. It looks like there was a couple of grenades flying through the house. And, yeah, here's the full-on invade. Zeldrin's out of there.
They got Pow as well, so NRX will pick up all those kills. They're unstoppable so far. Really fun to watch yesterday. Showing up on the day again today.
Yeah, NRX might very well be in for their second top finish today if they keep going like this. We're down to 35 players. And taking a look at the map once again, we only have 2 med strats going on actively. Unless whoever's 15 over there is also engaging in it, but they decided a little bit later that that's what they wanted to do.
They're the 3 med stratting teams.
Okay, so only 3. Not the end of the world.
Is definitely SEAL team because that's at Rust Bay.
There are a lot of people left up, though. There are a lot of people still left up in this small field of play.
Say that. We're going to get a big fight in about 2 minutes here. The next zone is closed in successfully, and then once that settles, we'll get the final one in about 23 minutes here.
Wouldn't that be cool if it actually centered on Mace Out Factory?
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't. Rip.
It'll be a big area instead. Yeah. There's one single compound inside that area, so it's like, you've got one little place you can hide.
And it's on the outer edge.
And everyone else is like, get in here and fight.
Yeah. Well, that is going to be the definition of a battle royale. Triple X going to be running down the road himself, trying to get into the circle of play, and he's still pretty far out of it, so he's got to make tracks. Oh, boy. He's a little concerned here. Meanwhile, checking back in with Huang On. SEAL team's actually done a pretty good job of staying alive in this one. There's Got.
Is he any Got?
Oh, nope. There's the drive-by, but he's the one actually doing the shooting. Looks like Lion's going to get downed outside the car. Good stuff there for SEAL Gaming.
Raptor just shuts the door as well. Backs off.
Kyrax also down. My goodness. So Triple X coming up with a pick on that.
Rack's taking a couple of shots. Mr. Lonely doing well as well. Kikapati's going to fall down. Skyzak's going to fall. SEAL team are in here as well.
Uh-oh. Huanong, he's taking way too much damage. He is going to get knocked down. So it's going to be on Sanji to try and save the day.
Yep. So SEAL team don't have anyone med stratting either. They've actually thrown themselves into the deep end.
I mean, when you fail the med strat once, you have 2 choices. You can do it again and hope that was just a one-off thing, or you can mix up your strategy and then teams aren't going to be gunning for you, and you might be able to out-frag them.
Yeah, well, they failed both times, so not going to happen. They failed twice and then came into the final zone. Now Sanji's just like, well, let me see if I can just survive here in this little spot.
Yeah, it's similar to med stratting, but less deliberate.
He's got the zone on his side here, Sanji. No, he doesn't actually. That actually just ticked over the rock, so he's going to have to move forward. We're getting that big fight now, though. 23 minutes in, this is where we clean out the rest of the teams.
All right, 25 players is about to be cut down to size. Really quick, here comes Lawpro. Running through the trees. See who he's going to find first. Joined by his teammate, little boy.
AOV will get picked up. Lunacy, he's being spotted out here by Sanji. Both of them outside the zone.
Sanji's got to move.
Take the shot.
Okay, there we go. On to Lunacy. Nicely done. But if he runs, there are so many people that would see him right about now. Looks like Lawpro actually gets spotted as well into the firefight, and he's going to be taken down.
Yeah, he just got revived as well, so immediately thrown into a fight against Fury Roads. He's taken out. Sanji's actually moving outside the zone, and guess what he's going to do?
Get a little loot on.
Yeah, get a little bit of the loot and, a little bit of the meds and a little bit of the strat.
Well, he's going to have to keep making tracks unless he wants to just heal it all up if he has enough. Like an AA does take a few shots as he was tossing a firecracker in the general direction of what looks like Fury Road. Or Fury Roads, I should say. Not the Mad Max variety. Of course, sometimes they play a little bit like it.
True. Ooh. It's being taken down. Grenade coming out from
chicken grenade.
NRX 4 players left in a circle that only has 14 players.
That is actually crazy. But once again, NRX proving that they are one of the highest caliber teams in this group right now. If they survive with everybody, they should be an absolute shoo-in to get in the top. Towards the end of it, TikTok is going to fall like an AA. So accurate on the shots once again. And just look at how fast he actually moves. Strafe jumping the entire time. This guy is always a moving target.
Yeah, like an AA, making sure that it's difficult to hit him as they take control of the next circle as well. So anyone that wants to try and take on NRX has to come to them. And this has been 3 games in a row now that NRX are looking for a top 3 finish.
I mean, they might be looking for top 1 here if they could do it.
It should be. I mean, they're the only team with 4 players left alive inside the zone. So this should be their zone to take. JZ, you know, they're all fanning out. They're all taking different angles, covering lots of space.
And this is the kind of thing that these top-level teams can do that not a lot of the other teams are capable of, that they can fan out without risk to really being surprised, and they don't give themselves up to this potential danger of getting caught by a stray nade and getting AOE'd down to death, excuse me. They are smart enough in their communication to not have to worry about that as much. Zippy does get dangerously close to getting chicken grenaded, but now they're kind of moving up, still fanned out, but finding themselves in a good position. 13 players still left alive.
You see Mr. Lonely just bandaging up, doing what he can. He's got an ally who's trading outside the zone, so he's comfortable here just trying to look for these picks. 5 shots against Zippy. There's silent shots, but that's
get it.
Position.
Mr. Lonely gets gunned down by Samoy. Oh, he gets downed himself, and he's going to be killed terrain pretty quickly there. So JZ actually cleaning up, and once again, NRX John looking like they'll take this one. It would be a big upset to not get it.
6ix9ine holding on to his current spot. Raptor taking some damage here.
Yeah, and he gets eliminated. Okay, 6ix9ine. There we have it. 9 players.
That should be now just NRX cleaning out the remaining members inside this final zone.
And there were 3 med straters as well.
You've got Sanji, who's going to be taken down outside the safe zone. You've got Aichi that's close by, and then everybody else who is med stratting.
Yeah. So at the end of the day, it will be NRX John unless something really surprising happens.
Sit here and wait. Doop-a-doop-a-doo.
Yep.
Look at that. 6ix9ine's even hunting. He's like, no, you don't
med strat.
Don't med strat right outside my zone. But I mean, still 3 players.
Pad the scores. It's an extra 10 points. You might as well. So we're down to 7. That means there should be 1. No, that's actually everybody. It's, everyone's outside.
Someone's coming in now. Someone's actually trying to make their way into the zone. One of the Filipino teams. It's to the right of like an AA. So there you go. They've got 1 squad that's coming in now, 15. Then you've got 4 and 13 who have been med stratting from the beginning.
Yeah, that's about it. Who is it? Oh. Exploded car.
Ghost car.
It was a ghost car. Nice.
There's someone else close by,
let's see. Where is it? The lowest player, I was about to say was Jason.
It's
Akame. Okay. He's going to get caught out in that tuk-tuk. Goodbye.
Just snapshots him. Another kill going to like an A, who has 6 frags for himself, by the way.
I like how they're taking the very safe strategy of just shooting out the tuk-tuk.
Pad the stats.
Just in case anyone's in there.
Damage dealt at the end of the graphic. Will Clubs have their med shredder just die 27, 28 minutes into the match. So 1 final med shredding team is all that is left.
Yeah, well, this should be it. NRX John will be able to take number 1. That is their 2nd first-place finish today. Of course, their 3rd in a row that is in the top 3. So, Reynolds just watches the sun set as he heals up. I'm actually seeing him heal. Just sitting on the bike.
Hands on his knees. You can heal in vehicles, so he's just got his hands on his knees. Just, you know, hey guys, my name's Reynolds. I approve this message. Decides to blow up the vehicle as he's run out of meds probably. No,
he actually still has. Oh, man. What a manner play.
Upsetting. Just sit here and wait for him to die.
Well, it'll happen sooner or later.
Upset.
Yeah, it happens. But Reynolds is going to go down here, and that will be the end of the round. Like an AA, JZ, Zippy, and of course, everybody from NRX John coming up big. 6ix9ine as well. That was a massive play. 6 kills for Like an AA.
They're on track to try and best their record from earlier in the tournament. 1,200 points was their best score they've had so far, and the best score of the tournament. They'd currently be sitting